Hello everyone and welcome to Creating with Class. That's Crafty Lessons and Simple Steps with Linda Wirt. Hi, I'm Linda and today I'm going to be sharing with you some items that I purchased from Temu and that I actually made projects with. So I swore I would never go down the Temu rabbit hole. So I said, you know what? I keep seeing all these unboxings and Temu haul videos and stuff. It's like, all right, I'm going to try it and see what it's like. But I never see anybody use the actual items. I just see them unbox it and get excited about it. So I went ahead and ordered some items. Specifically in this video, I'm going to be sharing washi tape. So those of you who know me through my Facebook group or through my Instagram account or even here on YouTube know that I love washi tape. As you can see, I have a huge assortment of washi tape and I use it for cards and journaling and decorations and things like that. So as you can see, I have quite an extensive collection, all different types of brands and manufacturers. So I have a pretty good idea of what makes a good washi tape and what doesn't. So I thought, okay, let me try and see if I can make some things with the things I purchased from Temu. The first thing I'll share with you that I did purchase is this organizer. It's actually considered a cosmetic organizer, but I went ahead and purchased it because I wanted to go ahead and put my washi tapes in that I purchased, and it has little drawers here that you can put, you know, your pens and things like that in. So I went ahead and got that. This is plastic. It's actually pretty durable and is perfect for, you know, anything to put on your desktop if you need something at a quick, easy reach. So I actually thought this was a good investment. It was very inexpensive. Anything that I purchased, I will go ahead and put in the description box down below and let you know exactly what I purchased. And, you know, you can check it out on their website. I'm not going to put any prices because the prices change literally on an hourly basis with Temu, which is a good or a bad thing. But if you sign up your app on the phone with Temu, you get notifications anytime, you know, something that you're interested in drops in price. So I'm not going to put prices, but I will definitely give you the descriptions and links of exactly what I purchased and what I'm trying out. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and made myself some sample sheets. And I went and took the actual washi tape that I purchased and went ahead and took them and put them on white cardstock, because that's what I normally use when I'm making cards. And, you know, literally just tried them out, see what they were like, see what their stickiness was, how well they adhered to the page. And I usually try that with any tape that I purchase because I want to make sure that it'll work for the project that I plan on doing. So I had mixed reviews according to Temu. These are all the same manufacturer, which I find a little hard to believe, but if so, then there's some quality control issues within those manufacturers because some were really good and some were not. So let's start off with these gift sets here first. I'll move this to the side. I like to buy washi tape in sets that are coordinated because it makes it so easy to match. But what I found very interesting with these particular sets is they didn't stick with a theme completely all the way through, which isn't a bad thing. It made me wonder why they were together. Obviously they are together because of the color, and that is about it, maybe not the theme specifically. So for instance, on this one, which I really like a lot, it has themes of, I thought it was all going to be like ocean, sea animals, things like that, because you'll see there's bubbles and little fish, and here's more fish. But then it stuck with the same colors and switched to flowers, which is fine. But then this tape really confused me because if you look at it, on a same washi tape, they have a deer and then a teapot and then a lily and then another flower. So I don't know, maybe I would cut these apart, but once again, I don't know whether I would use that tape because to me, the theme doesn't follow all the way through. I can't seem to connect it. If you have an idea what they were thinking of, put it in my comment section below because I can't figure out where they were going from a deer, a teapot, a lily dripping, and then another flower. So I'm not quite sure with that. So I don't think I'm going to be using that one. I do like the thin tapes, and this one worked really well. Another thin tape, and then this. So these kind of color coordinate. So I can kind of get the three of these that work together. And then this one you know, is kind of nice. And then you have this, which is the fish under the sea. So some of them coordinate. I'm not expecting the whole pack to, but it kind of lost me on a couple of how some of these would work together. For most part, the quality is good, except you'll see here where the run, you'll see a giant line where it goes from deep blue to turquoise and it just stopped. So that shows a little difference, in the good quality tapes don't have those start and stops of dye lots. Same thing happened here. So if you're going to use it for a project and that bothers you, you're going to have to cut it wherever the line is so you don't have any problems in your overall project. But for the most part, these were this color hue. And then as you can tell, I like purple. And this theme also was in the purples. And I thought maybe I could use the two together and intermix them. So this one, once again, started with the thin washi tapes, flowers. Then these are more flowers. Flowers, we have bike, a present, a clock. And then this is switching down to under the sea. So we have the whales, and then this is kind of like, could be sky or water, and then more flowers. So these kind of have a more consistent theme throughout them. But like I said, I got them to see if I could interchange and use both sets together. I also purchased these little dots, which are called watercolor dots, and they come in a pack like this, and they're used a lot of times in bullet journals, which I will show you shortly, but really liked these. They have quite a few that come together, and they're beautiful, different variegated colors. So I'll show you how I use that in a moment. So first step was going through these. So these two, everything seemed to adhere pretty good, except for this one. As you can see, it didn't stick very well. So I ended up not using that one in any of my projects. So, but for the most part, really good quality. They stuck very well. They were thick enough to use. The only drawbacks were the themes weren't always, continuous or made sense. And the other thing is, if you're looking for a complete, ongoing design, you have to be careful. There are some start and stops in the design pattern that I usually don't see in any of the other kind of washi tape brands that I purchase. The others that I purchased were these. And like I said, according to Temu, these are all from the same manufacturer. And these were terrible. These were completely different quality. They were thin. As you can see, they're falling off. They barely stay on. They have very little tack to it. I went back on the description, maybe thought, is this repositional tape or something? But it literally will, as you can see, it won't stick on my cardstock. So absolutely terrible. Wouldn't repurchase. And this is going straight in the garbage. I can't even find a use for it because it literally won't stick. I guess if you wanted to put adhesive on the back of it to make it stick, you could use it. But these were not good. I find it funny. It says duct tape on the side, which is far from it. It does not stick at all. And the other ones that I purchased were these. It was supposed to be a 10-pack that I purchased, and I only received 6 of them. So I do have missing parts from this order, but the ones that they gave me, same thing. They barely stick on the page. They're very flimsy. They're very thin, paper thin, and not as good quality as the other ones. So besides missing parts of my order, the tape is it just barely sticks to the paper. So I would not use these. So out of all of them, these I definitely would not repurchase. The other ones that I purchased were these variegated colors here that you can see, that I went ahead and got. And this way I could use them and hopefully mix them with some of my other colors that I had that are patterned. I like to use this sometimes for pulling a design together. So these were all by Miranda, I think is the name of the brand. And these were all good quality of thickness and adhesive strength. So I will show you what I did with those and some projects that I made with these. And then I also purchased some of these washi sticker flowers. And these are flowers that you just go ahead and you peel off and then you stick them like a sticker, but they are washi tape. So they're nice and thin and you can use them as accents or as a pattern. So these I really liked a lot, and I'll show you what I did with these. I ended up buying 3 rolls, and this ended up being a really good purchase at the end. So I will show you how I used those. So let's get started. Let me show you the first project that I went ahead and made. I love to make cards. So this is a card that I made. I ended up using all the washi tape from this particular set because they all coordinated. I like to use sometimes monochromatic themes when I'm making cards to pull it all together. So I just use these to go ahead and make a background pattern for this card. If you'd like to see a video of how I actually did this, please leave a comment down below and say, you know, that you'd like to see a washi tape card with a monochromatic card made, and I will go ahead and make a video for you. But I used this particular set, really stuck very well. I liked the adhesive strength, and then I ended up using those accent flowers like I had just shown you behind here. I also purchased a stamp set from Temu that had all of these different sayings. So I stamped the saying with sympathy on there. And then I also purchased some ribbon that I could always use as accent on stationery and different things like that. So I used that as an accent behind. To adhere the ribbon to the card, I used this little adhesive. It's very tiny, and it worked perfect for adhering the ribbon to the actual card. So I liked this. Obviously you can't do a lot of crafting with it, but for small little projects or to be able to throw in a bag if you're going someplace, it worked out really well. So really liked this adhesive. And then I used these foam shapes to help let the word with sympathy pop off the card. You'll see I put them right there, so it'll give it a little bit more dimension. These were a good purchase as well. The quality is good, they stick well, and I like the fact that they're tinier than your usual one. As you can see, they're really, really tiny, just on the tip of my finger like that. So sometimes your squares and things like that are a little bit larger. Like if you were to get the dollar store and stuff like that, they're a little bit thicker, and sometimes I have to cut them in half. So I do like the fact that these are a little bit smaller and a unique shape that you can get into areas that you wouldn't be able to get into with a square. So I did like that as well. I also purchased this cutting pen that you go ahead and it has a little knife on the end. I tried to use that for cutting the edges of my washi tape. Did not work well at all. It actually dragged and tore the tape rather than cutting it. So I will not be using this. I really had high hopes for this, that I could cut like intricate around different things, and it just did not work. So I'm not a fan of this. Won't be purchasing this again. It's a knife, you know, that's hidden inside a pen. I would definitely use my X-Acto knife or my Cricut True Control blade over this. This was not useful to me at all. But overall, I was happy with the results. Like using these. Once again, you have to look to make sure that you know, this tape does have, you can see, I don't know, they can see the little line there where they ended the die pattern. So I had to consistently cut it so it wouldn't show up on my card in the wrong spot. So if you don't mind that, and you're not looking for a long continuous piece that is, you know, consistent, this isn't a bad purchase at all. So would recommend these. Because it does stick well, and it did a good job. All right, moving on to the next thing. Oh, before I move on, let me show you another card that I had made with a different type of washi tape. One of the things that I like to do is I like to put washi tape on cardstock, put it through my Cricut to make titles. So this is actually 3 different pieces of washi tape, and this is from Temu. Really like their washi tape. Put it on cardstock, ran it through my Cricut, it cut beautifully. Well, I tried that with the Temu brand that, you know, of the washi tape's not Temu brand, but the brand that I got from Temu. And as you see, it did not cut well at all. It dragged, it ripped. So even though it adhered really well to the card for a background, I wasn't able to cut it and make a title like I did with this card. So I was a little disappointed with that. So I know I can't do titles. You know, see if I tried to pull this off, you know, you could see that it didn't cut all the way through. So I definitely wouldn't use this for titles, but if you just wanted to do it for a background or accent, that would be fine. If you like this card, I do have a video already on my YouTube channel that you can see how I went ahead and made this card. Now, obviously, the next thing that people use washi tape a lot for is bullet journaling. And I love making some creative pages using my washi tape. For the most part, the color scheme that I chose was based on those two larger coordinating packs of washi tape. And what I did here is I used as much as I possibly could, and then I used my pulley printer to make the titles for each of the subsections. But all of the tapes really worked well in my bullet journal. They adhere very well. Once again, that's from this pack and also from some of the coordinating packs as well. And you'll notice here's the washi dots. So these are the watercolor dots, and all I did was cut the circles in half to put little bullet points there for my accents. So really enjoyed working on with the tape in my bullet journal. And here is another one using the tape as well. This is the tape from this pack that I used, and also I used some of this. It is a border tape, and the brand is Sakura tape. And the difference with this particular washi tape is it has a paper backing to it. So you just have to peel the paper backing off. Most washi tape, you just have to go ahead and pull it, and it's automatic. It's already sticky on the other side. So you'll see it's already sticky. So it sticks to it. But this, you have to measure it, cut it, and then you have to peel the paper backing off. So kind of good because it doesn't stick on itself or tear anything. I thought this was very good, but it's a little on the thinner side, so you got to be careful because it tears very easily. But it is Sakura brand tape, and it worked very well, and I used it as a border. And then I went ahead and cut accents flowers out of it to use on the page as well. So this tape I would highly recommend. Like I said, it is very different. It has the paper backing, and it's by Sakura. So for the most part, I did like the washi tape, except for some inconsistencies. It's really hard because you would think if they do tell you what the brands are. So for instance, this is Miranda, but they're saying that this is the same brand, but it doesn't say that on the back. It says Share Mine. So you really have to be careful, read the descriptions. The other thing that's a little bit different is you'll see the amount of tape you get is very little. So if you need it for a large project, then you have to be a little bit careful because you're not getting a lot of tape. So for instance, if I compare it to one of my others, let's say, like I said, I like using Temu brand. Look at the amount of tape you're getting on here versus what you're getting here. So you don't get a lot. So if you need it just for one project or a small project, fine. But you are getting what you pay for, right? So you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them for $1 something, where this alone would be like $3.99 or something. But look, you're getting way more tape. So keep that in mind. When you're buying these, you're not getting a lot of one particular color. You might get a whole bunch together, but you're not getting a lot of each individual one. So be careful because you could end up running out in the middle of your project, especially if you're trying to do a bullet journal with all the same color theme or a card. So that's one of the drawbacks, is the amount you get and the inconsistency of you think you're getting all the same brand, but like I said, they say this is the same brand, and it wouldn't stick to my paper at all. It's all come off and is flapping around. So it's hit or miss. So would I purchase again from them washi tape? I probably would. I would look a little bit closer to see if I can see more about it in the description. But for the most part, it's definitely worth it. Am I going to switch and completely only buy washi tape from them? Absolutely not. I really like Temu, Recollections, and those other brands out there. But for what I had to do, it's fine. But in the past, I've used, as you've seen, other washi tape brands, which stuck beautifully, and I like to use it a lot throughout my journals. So if you're into using it for cards, accent, things like that, definitely would invest it. You just have to be careful the amount that you're getting, but you are getting what you pay for. So for the most part, I like it. Would I, always buy from Temu? I don't know about that. I'm still going to probably buy my washi tape where, if I know it's an important project or I need a lot of it, I will stick with the brands that I usually use. But this wasn't overall too bad. I hope you found this video helpful. Please put any comments down below if you purchased any other washi tape and any of your experiences that you've had with it. Happy crafting!